probably didn't give a thumbnail at all.
Well, pish posh.
Pish posh.
Posh pish.
I think I hear the thunder.
Or it could be the dishwasher.
I think it's the thunder. I think the thunder's happening.
I got the notification.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Excuse you. Well, I'm going to do my usual and grab a drink.
Hi.
Grab a drink, as always.
Grab a drink.
Yeah.
I'm sharing, but hello. Tweet. I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm here.
I don't know what I'm doing.
What do you mean you don't know what you're
I don't
doing?
know what I'm doing.
Hello, everybody. Hello. What's the haps? What's going on? Thank you for coming by, hanging out on this, what day is it? Tuesday?
I don't even know.
I don't know.
Tuesday? Yeah, it's Tuesday.
I've been so messed up with work. I've been working, what am I on, 7 days now?
6.
6? 6 days straight?
But today I kept thinking...
Hey, Cindy. Hey, Coretta. Hello.
Hi.
All right, what's happening?
A thingy on your screen.
Yeah, I always have like a thingy. Ooh.
No, don't report it. You could have just hit cancel.
There we go.
Bottom.
I got it. I know what I'm doing in life.
No, you don't.
I'm so professional, can't you tell? So, with this whole like crazy work schedule that I'm on this like 7 or 8 days straight from work, that I didn't get time to like really go out and film anything because my hours are like 9:30 to like by the time I get home it's like 7 o'clock at night. Everything's closed and I'm up and on my way to work too early for me to even want to do anything. I can't even mow my grass.
It's getting really bad.
It's crazy. So I figured, what better way to like do a video where it's just like, hey, come get to know us a little bit. Now we've done videos like this before. Not a lot, but I think we did it once, maybe twice, kind of in a
couple times, but I don't think all of them were live.
No, I don't think they were all live.
I think some of them were just
sporadic.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I feel like it was a good way to do this. So like like some of the old head subs, they probably know a little bit about us, but you know, mainly
old head
subs. Like, you know, I call like everybody an old head who's like been like hanging around for a while. You know, like that's just like what we all called like in the biker stuff. We always called people like old heads. We didn't mean like their age was old.
But you are.
We never meant it like that. It was just like,
you are.
I am an old head. So especially for our new subscribers who don't like know anything, or just
who don't like know anything,
who don't know anything about us, is what I mean. And for those who are just watching and just coming across this, who don't know, yeah, exactly. So we're gonna read some questions that we've gotten. We're gonna try to move this along because there is a storm a-brewing, and if you guys haven't seen pictures, not just from us, but from all over the interwebs of how gnarly Florida has been with like lightning in the past 2-3 days. It's been crazy.
Even at our house last night.
See some good lightning strikes, man.
Yeah, but we kept missing. We were both filming the storm, and then we would turn it off because we were like, oh, we're not going to get any lightning strikes. Like 5 seconds later, a lightning would strike, and I'm like, and we missed it again.
Of course. Story of my life. Missing everything.
Story of my life.
So we're going to answer these questions. If you guys have any questions in the mid-time while we are talking, we will answer your questions as best as we can. It could be about anything. We are an open book. Okay. So then should I wait for you a little bit? Or should I just start?
Just start rambling. There wasn't much of this left.
Just start rambling.
You really need to fix this wall. It's been how many months?
I gotta fix walls?
Yeah, like there's all these scratch marks from you and Travis.
Travis and I did nothing. I think I still have his blood on the wall too. So I guess I'm just gonna hang out for a second while Lisa's grabbing a drink, and then we'll get... Huh?
I'm coming.
She's coming.
Really
Krista, hello, how are you?
Soda, but I really want one.
Okay.
It's not in the notes.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to your text message.
It's right
So,
there.
one of the questions we got is, what's your favorite way to spend a day off? What's my favorite way to spend a day off?
either going to the parks, but sometimes I like to go and, like, when we're not filming, because then it's, like, we just enjoy it a little more.
Yeah, because sometimes I'm like, I'll go and Lisa's like, oh, you don't have the camera with you. And I'll be like, no, I'm just going to look at the park today with my eyes.
Which, like, is a lot more fun. If I'm not going to the parks, then I enjoy going to the beach, which doesn't happen often. But usually, like, whenever I go to visit my brother, I end up at the beach because he lives 10 minutes from a beach. But it takes me, like, 2.5 to 3 hours to drive up to him.
Yeah.
Oh, we did go to, what was it, Anna Maria Island?
We did go to Anna Maria.
With Panda Flow, like, a couple months ago, and that was really fun.
We crashed his birthday.
Yeah, that's right. So, either the parks or the beach. Sometimes, though, after a really long week of work, sometimes I just enjoy doing nothing.
Yeah, I do. Sometimes it's lately, I'll do nothing if I don't feel like going to the park. Some days, especially because it's hot out, it's like index of like 105,
yeah, and
109.
especially on a day where, like, we plan on going to the parks, but, like, in the morning we'll go out and we'll catch up on, like, yard work, and then it's like you're out in the heat all day. Like, I did that on one of the days over the weekend. I went out and I tackled all the weeds in the flower bed. And I spent 2 hours out in the heat because it had been a little bit since I had weeded. And I wasn't doing anything the rest of the day. I just wanted to sit at home and stay in the AC, which is exactly what I did.
Yeah, and I'll put on like The Simpsons or Disney Plus or Netflix or something.
Simpsons is on Disney Plus.
Yeah, you know, and or Netflix and do something. I don't know.
Parks, beach, sitting at home and do nothing.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy cleaning the house. I tend to do that on days off, though, when Tony's working. So that's not really what I enjoy doing, but I do take advantage of that time to get the house in order.
Yeah. So just normal adulting stuff, I guess. You know. Next question we have received.
What was I can't talk.
No.
What was the best vacation you ever took and why?
The best vacation I ever took and why? The best vacation I have ever taken was all vacations.
All vacations?
Because, like, well, let me explain. Because not only do you get time away from work and kind of like real life for a little bit, you get to relax. But the best vacations because of that is because if you go like on a vacation with me, I try to do nothing touristy.
Except when we would come down for Disney before we lived here.
Exactly. But otherwise, I do nothing.
You shouldn't say
tourist.
Nothing, but you try to do most
I avoid
stuff.
it. I try to avoid as much cost. And
Vacation, what's that?
Yeah, right.
Really.
If everybody's going that way because they want to go see, like, I don't know, whatever, I'm going the other way because I want to see how the locals live. I want to get the local foods. Like when we went to Nassau, everybody was going to Atlantis, but I decided to walk the other way, where we got to see Sean Connery's summer house, where it's like wrapped up in barbed wire. We saw the military government walk the street with their rifles.
We went to like a pirate museum.
Yeah, and probably got fed real Uso. And, like those, and just seeing how people live. Like, I thought Sean Connery's house was really cool, the summer one. And then just seeing, like, the random government military just walk in the streets with rifles. It's, like, something you don't see. And it's, like, people miss that stuff because they do all the tourists. But if you head down to the local areas, you get to see what the reality of these places are. And I think that's better because I always say when you get out of your city and you go explore and you have this whole new idea of what things are.
Yeah.
And that's, to me, a great vacation. Whether it was good or a bad time.
My favorite vacation, it kind of going off of Tony, was our honeymoon. But, I mean, there were parts I didn't enjoy, like getting sun poisoning.
I laughed.
Most of them...
She looked like a freaking lobster. She's, like, crying. Not, like, bawling, but, like, she was, like, pain. Like, she was that red.
Yeah, so...
And all I did was just laugh. I felt so bad.
Yeah, what happened was we were on Royal Caribbean's private island. And I was laying in, I think I was just in one of the beach chairs.
You were just in a beach chair.
And I knew I was going to fall asleep because, like, that's what you do at the beach when you're not in the water. And I had said to Tony, you know, wake me up so I can reapply sunscreen. But the problem was he fell asleep. And so when I first woke up, I don't know if any of you other pale people out there like me know the struggle. But, like, you know when you're out in the sun, like, you know you have sunburn, but, like, because the sun is so bright, you can't always see how bad it is. So, like, when I woke up, like, I knew I had gotten sunburn. I could feel it. Wasn't that bad. Went in the ocean, cooled off. And I think we were on, like, the little boat to take us back to the cruise ship. And I had, like, my beach bag, and I was like, this is killing me. So, like, I took it off, and it wasn't until we got in the room on the ship and I went to take a shower and I realized how burnt I was to the point where he is right. I was crying because it hurt to take a shower. It hurt to move. It hurt to do anything. And I remember looking at you going, you need to get me aloe.
And I was like, $15.
And you're like, we're on a cruise ship. It's going to cost me like $15. And I was like, I don't care.
Bottle.
So, okay, although
like,
I said the honeymoon
Buttercup
was my favorite trip, it was, minus the fact that I ended up getting sun poisoning.
That's when we won that love and
was really
marriage game or something.
Yeah,
like
it was the newlywed game.
Yeah, and we
won. No, we didn't win.
Oh no, we lost big time.
We lost.
But everybody came up to us because we were the most entertaining on the questions. It was the couple
that had been, they were the middle couple.
Yeah.
So like we were the newlyweds, then you had like the elderly couple that had been married for like 50 years. And then they had been married for I think like 5 years. They won. But we all became friends, like even with the elderly couple. Like we would see them on the ship and just start talking again. But
I wish I could find that video.
They gave us a copy of it, and we have no idea where it went.
Our answers are so hilarious,
but they're so truthful.
And they're truthful. And I wish I could find that so I could put it on YouTube to let everybody hear it.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
I can't find it.
I don't think
we found it since we moved to York.
No.
Like, I cannot find this DVD, so it's a little frustrating. But overall, the honeymoon was my favorite trip, minus the fact that my skin bubbled from sun poisoning, and I was in pain, and Tony made fun of me.
I did.
But overall, the trip was fun.
That's one thing.
And exciting.
That's one thing about it, Tony. If something is painful to others for some reason, I have to poke and make fun of it. I don't know why. It's just
it was bad.
I guess because when you're in situations like that, like, what else can you do besides
I remembered my cousins.
Laugh.
So, like, half of our honeymoon was the cruise. And then the other half we did at Universal. But that was during the time that Disney was still doing their Star Wars days.
The weekend.
Yeah, so we had paid extra to go over to Hollywood Studios. And my aunt, uncle, and my cousins were actually vacationing at the same time. So they kind of crashed our honeymoon. But I remember texting my cousin as we were getting off the ship, and I was like, I'm warning you. Nobody is, like, okay, let me quick explain. My family, we like to jump on each other. So I just sent the quick text, and I was like, nobody is to jump on me. I have sun poisoning. And I remember my uncle saw me, and his eyes just got so big, and his mouth dropped, and he's like, you are burnt. And I was like, had no idea? Really? Yes, I'm burnt. I know I am. I'm a little bit more than burnt. I'm fried.
I don't know.
So, what a honeymoon. True love. Spend the money to make the wife feel better and watch her suffer decisions.
It's a true story.
Needless to say, he went and he bought a $12 bottle of aloe. That
I was like not happy about it.
That big.
I told her to just suck it up.
No.
She went.
I wouldn't. But, yeah. So, there we go.
Justin, what's going on? What's happening?
Moving on. Where is the next place on your travel bucket list and why? Okay, so not one that we have planned because clearly there's not much traveling going on anywhere right now.
No, but if traveling was a thing still.
On our bucket list.
For me, 3 places come to mind in no order. Would be Germany. Japan, because I love Japanese culture. And I'd have to say a toss-up between, like, Denmark or Norway would be cool.
Your anniversary gift for the next 5 years. Yeah, $12 of aloe.
That's right.
My bucket list. So ever since I was little, I've been saying I've wanted to snorkel in the Great Barrier Reef. So I would love to go to Australia. And I know I probably couldn't do all these things in Australia because they're all in different locations. But I want to snorkel in the Great Barrier Reef. I really enjoy watching Bondi Rescue on YouTube. So I would love to go to Bondi Beach. And I mean, I like the Irwins, so why not visit the Australia Zoo? But they're all in different locations around Australia. So it's not happening for me to do all of them. But besides Australia, I would love to go to Germany. I'm mainly German.
So am I. I don't look it, but according to Ancestry, I'm like a lot German.
I kind of want to go and like see the country, but I also want to.
Italy would be rad.
Which I know I'd probably have to go more into Poland, but I'd want to actually visit the concentration camps. I know that's a really kind of depressing thing.
That would be a depressing trip.
At the same time, I feel like I would get so much more out of it than what I got from the textbooks in school.
That is
I just feel like Germany overall, since the fall
rich history
of Hitler, they've done a great job, from what I see of on the internet, of remembering the Holocaust, but not praising Hitler about it.
Just the struggles of what...
Yeah, their focus is on remembering the victims.
It's not a place to go and have a happy time. This is the struggles that...
Yeah, but I feel like I just want to see it. I've been to the Holocaust Museum in Philadelphia, and that was really tough to go through, especially the room with all the shoes.
Yeah, but this is tough. Worse.
But this is obviously walking where they walked. I would want to go there. And
I would love to go there too.
My other one, which wouldn't be out of the country, but my mom and I are always talking about it, is I want to go to Shanksville, PA, which is nowhere near where I grew up. But that's where Flight 93 went down on 9/11. And I got to see the construction a couple months after 9/11 where the Twin Towers fell. So I'd love to go back to New York City and see the Memorial Tower. I remember we were in New York City and we could see the Memorial Tower
yeah, but we didn't go
blocks and blocks away. But when we realized how far it was and then what time we had to catch the bus to get back to PA, we realized we had no time. And I didn't want, we knew we would have enough time to get there, get off the train, look at it, get back on and go. And I want to be able to go there and really see it. So, yeah, those would be my bucket list items.
Yes.
Obviously, the ones in PA and New York are going to be a lot easier to do than...
Because of traveling right now.
Well, and also because of money. Yeah. It's easy. We go up to visit family. We can drive the 3.5 hours to Shanksville. Yeah. Or we can take the bus up to New York. It's not that hard.
Chris said, I used to work for the airline when 9/11 happened. Scary times. Ooh.
I bet.
Yeah.
My first time on a plane wasn't until after 9/11. I remember how terrified I was. Because, one, it's my first time ever flying. So I think I would have been terrified regardless. But then, obviously, it's just, I think it was, 2 years after 9/11 that I finally got on a plane. And I was like, what's going to happen? But now I prefer flying over anything. So
flying is still the safest way to travel.
Yeah, it is. But, I'm going to be sharing my age here a bit. I was only in 5th grade when 9/11 happened.
She's such a baby.
So, I know.
My God, you are so young.
I know.
I never realized until you start telling these stories and then I go oh, God.
Real events going on that, everyone remembers. And then you say, where you were. I was in 5th grade when it happened.
She was a
I know,
baby.
I'm really young.
Oh, God.
But, yeah, so...
I was in high school when that happened.
Well, you're 6 years older than me.
That's true. So. Next question.
Hold on.
Let
me put my drink down.
Put your drink down.
Okay. Besides YouTube and puzzles, what are your hobbies and how did you get into them?
Besides...
Well, puzzles are not Tony's hobby.
No, I hate puzzles.
It's funny, when he
I hate them.
When he was at
Puzzles are all Lisa.
The world of Disney, and he got all excited about the Indiana Jones puzzle.
Because it was 25th anniversary.
Lisa's gonna love this. I'm not into Indiana Jones, so he like comes home and he's like all proud of himself. He's like, babe, I got you another puzzle, and I see it. I'm like, so that's one for you to put together. And he's like, no. Well, why am I putting together your puzzle?
Puzzles give me a headache within the first minute.
But anyway, so what are some of your other hobbies besides YouTube?
Play the guitar.
You haven't played it a lot recently.
I've been dabbling back into it.
Dabbling? When's the last time you picked it up?
I don't know. Whenever I posted a video on the Tip of the Ears Facebook.
Over a month ago?
No, that wasn't within a month. I don't know. Guitar? I don't know. I don't have hobbies. I used to have, like when we lived up north, you know, it'd be colder a lot of times, so I was, like, doing custom denim jackets.
Yeah, you were also...
I had, like, 5, like, different studded jackets that I did that would normally cost people, like, $500. And I'm like, dude, grab a $50 denim jacket, cut the sleeves off, go buy, like...
I'm great at air guitars.
Go buy, like, 500 British cone studs and just do it yourself. Why spend $500?
You also got into drawing for a little bit, but then when you started to have it to do it for homework, then you were like, nope,
I don't want to do it. Like, if I have to be graded for something I want to do, like, I don't want to do it.
Yeah. My hobbies, besides puzzles and... Oh, how did you get into guitar before I...
Oh, how'd I get into it? My old man has been playing guitar, oh my god, since he was a teenager. So I think it was one of those, when I was...
Oh, Heather said your hobby, you collect records.
I do collect records. I collect a lot of records.
Okay,
so that'd be another hobby.
His dad got him into guitar.
I think it was one of those, I was 10 years old, and I think that was, like, that time for him where he's like, all right, I can sit down and have that, like, father-son bonding thing. And let me tell you, I hated guitar at first. I really did. Because when you're, like, 10 years old, I really didn't want to learn. Like, I appreciate these bands, obviously, as I grew older, but at that time, like, I didn't want to learn Johnny Cash and, like, Chuck Berry and things like that. I mean, I'm glad I did, you know, because I love that music now, or when I got older I did, but at that time, when you're young, you're like, dude, I don't want to do this. But, you know.
Okay, so what got you into studying jackets? Just because you're part of the punk rock community?
Because
You didn't want to spend the money.
No, because during those times, companies weren't doing that.
No, you had to kind of do it yourself.
You did it yourself, because back then, like now when you see, like, I'll go on to, like, Burberry had a studded jacket that somebody sent me a picture for like $500, or no, they wanted like $1,000 for a studded jacket, and I looked at it, because I just wanted to see, one, it was terribly done. And sorry, Burberry, not that you're watching this, but your studded jackets suck, you know? But that was just kind of a thing. It was kind of like the outlaw, I guess, you know? I don't know. It was
Tony
pretty much
likes to be a rebel.
No, it was just like your battle jacket is just what it was. I don't know. I got into it because that's just what we did. We DIY'd everything.
Okay, so what got you into drawing before you started to not like doing it? And when you were doing it as a hobby?
Boredom.
Okay. And what got you into collecting records? Because that was the last one.
Collecting records because...
Rebel without a cause.
Records were not a thing anymore. It was a thing of the past, and that's when CDs were taken over, obviously. You know, this was...
CDs and then all the digital stuff.
This is, you know, CDs was like 1986-ish. That's, you know... record players were dying off, and then the media stuff. But then, like, when records were coming, you know, record stores were coming back with actual records, and it was starting to be this thing. Then I was just finding all these records that I had when I was a kid or my teenage years that I've lost from, like, fires or just water damage or anything like that. So I just started buying and just rebuilding my old collections, you know. And then it was all about, like, these German issues or things with different covers, and then you just start getting into it, and then you become addicted.
He spends all
and then
money.
you like tell your wife, that like she sees you go to the mailbox and you bring home a box and she's like, what do you order? And actually, no, not what you order. How much did you spend? And I'm like, well, I bought a record. How much was it? Like $35. Why would anybody buy a record for $35? I'm like,
clearly I'm not into collecting.
And I'm like, but it's a UK pressing and they only made like 3,000 copies. Look at on this like limited edition hot pink, you know.
Woo woo.
And then I hang it on the wall and she's like, you're not even listening to it.
All right, so my hobbies besides doing puzzles and YouTube, I've gotten back into playing the piano. I'm still really rusty. What got me into that? So I guess indirectly it was my grandfather. My grandfather played the piano and got my mom into it, and then my mom had all 5 of her kids take piano lessons. So it was only my oldest sister and I that really stuck with it. So that's another hobby. I still dibble-dabble with it. What are other hobbies?
Did you really just say dibble-dabble?
Dibble-dabble.
Okay.
I don't know what other hobbies I have.
You really don't do a lot of hobbies.
No, it's either like puzzles, piano. And what got me into doing puzzles was my other set of grandparents, my dad's parents, always did puzzles. So when I was younger and we'd go to their house, like we'd help do the puzzles. So now I've gotten into them, and now it's something I kind of share a hobby with my grandmother. It makes me feel old. But yeah, I don't really know if I have any other hobbies. I don't really do a whole lot.
I don't know.
So,
let's take this question I just see online now.
What's your favorite Disney resort and character?
Character, Donald Duck.
Cindy's right. I collect Disney precious moments.
That's right, you do.
And what got me into that? Tony bought me my first one, and I thought it was adorable.
And then I was doing it every year, and then I stopped.
Yeah, and then my mom got me one. But yeah, it kind of stopped after a little bit, only because...
I think when we said, like, hey, we're not going to buy each other stuff anymore. Yeah, I think
it's because, like, how many nieces and nephews started coming around, and it's like you have to buy presents for all of them. And now we just had another nephew born this past weekend, so it's like... We stopped giving each other Christmas presents because we figure we spend a lot of money on each other anyway throughout the year. But yeah, I still collect Disney precious moments. I just don't typically get them every Christmas like I had been. Now it's just kind of like when we see them, I pick it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what's your favorite Disney resort and character? You said Donald Duck.
Donald Duck. I'm here for the duck, not for the mouse. Always been that way. Resort. I'm going to go not with one that we stayed at, because when we stay, it's usually on the cheap, because that's a place where to keep my stuff, shower, and sleep. That's it. But resorts that I find myself going back to a lot just to tour or hang out is usually the Poly.
But we are going to be staying
Yeah, but we are staying for the first time
Saturday.
this Saturday. DVC room, that awesome. And I really like the
Fort Wilderness Lodge.
Fort Wilderness is cool, but I like the yacht
Club.
Yeah, yacht club is fun, and
Francis.
boardwalk is fun to go into. I mean, I'm judged all the time when I go into the boardwalk because I don't have boat shoes.
I don't have boat shoes. I think there's more to it than you don't have boat shoes.
No, I like the last time I walked through there. I was when it was raining and we were catching a bus. Yeah, we were catching the bus, resort bus.
Yeah, so it was before we moved down here. We were down on a vacation. We were meeting up with
I don't know who we were meeting. Oh, Brittany.
Brittany, yeah. At Disney Springs. So we were trying to figure out the quickest way to Disney Springs from Epcot after the fireworks. So we're like...
We ran to the boardwalk because it was raining.
Ran to the boardwalk. No, we first went onto the boardwalk to see which one would be the closest hotel to grab a bus to Disney Springs. Then it started raining.
Whatever.
But whatever, yeah, so...
And then, like, we get on the bus, and everyone's like...
They're headed to Disney Springs, and, like, everyone's, like, in
They're in their nice polos, khaki shorts or khaki pants,
and I'm wearing,
shoes.
Like, my comfy gym shorts and a t-shirt.
I'm wearing, like, a cut-off shirt with all my tattoo show. My hair was mohawked, and everybody's just, like, looking at me. And I was just like, I don't care. I don't care. But it was always a cool resort.
Yeah, so if we're going with, like, classic characters, I'm Daisy. Because she's so sassy.
She loves her sassy Daisy.
I love her sassy Daisy. Favorite Disney resort, or at least one I would love to stay at some point, the Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Yeah, you like the lodge.
Well, because I mean, Animal Kingdom's my favorite park, so you might as well stay at the lodge and see more animals.
Yeah.
I did like the Fort Wilderness Lodge, but I would rather stay at Animal Kingdom Lodge before going to Fort Wilderness. Obviously Polly, but we're headed there on Saturday.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
There's that. Chris, there's been comments that
okay.
When quarantine is over, I'm flying to Disney as fast as I can.
Nice.
I'm just going through some of them. I've only stayed at Pop and the movie resort. Someday I'm hoping for Polynesian and Grand.
Polynesian is goals.
What I'm going to say about the Grand Floridian. My sister stayed at the Grand Floridian.
We did a video on this, actually.
Don't get me wrong. It is a very, very nice resort. And they paid extra for a Castle View room.
Which was estimated $850 a night.
Yeah.
And we toured that room. We went there. She said
and
I could
don't get me wrong,
video it.
It was a great view of the castle. You can see the fireworks because this was pre-COVID. However, I did not think it was worth the money.
No.
Again, it's a nice resort. Personally, though, I have no desire to go stay at the Grand Floridian. I have no desire to. But that's just me. That's just me. But I don't have a desire to stay there. I mean, it's great location, obviously, and it's a nice resort. But personally, I feel like I would much rather spend the money to stay at the Polynesian or at the Animal Kingdom Lodge, just because I feel like it's just more themed.
Yeah.
I feel like when I'm at the Grand Floridian, it's nice. It's a nice hotel. But, you walk through the Polynesian and you're like, man, I'm on this island. It's awesome. It's great. At the Animal Kingdom Lodge, I feel like I'm, in the middle of a safari. It's awesome. At the Grand Floridian, it's I'm at the Grand Floridian.
It's supposed to make you feel like you're at the ball.
I guess.
Things like that. So I guess it's all about interprets of what tickles your fancy, if you will. It just doesn't tickle ours.
Someone asked, Nicole said, what do you think Disney will be like at Christmas time? Do you think it'll be worth going? So, interesting fact, I was just fiddling around on the app the other day. And come December 1st, if you start looking for whatever, I was just going to see because they had decreased park hours. Starting December 1st, if you go to check park hours, it says not available. So I have no idea what is going on.
They're trying to figure out because
so I really don't know what's going to happen.
Because
I think it's safe to say there will be no Very Merry Christmas party.
That's what they're figuring out. And that's why they have they don't have that on their app right now because that is a to be determined and they don't know what's going on. I
don't think they're going to have a Very Merry Christmas party. I mean, I think if anything's open, it's going to be what we have right now. No parades, no fireworks.
Do you think they'll decorate?
Yeah.
Do you think they'll fully decorate? Because about cutting costs and putting up those decorations and taking them down in all of them costs a lot of money.
I don't think they're going to do the ice lighting on the castle. I don't think they'll do that.
I think they will because that's a must.
But that brings crowds.
But that's a must. However, it's funny that that's a must now to see the ice castle because before Frozen, that never happened.
Well, that's because they didn't have an ice castle.
But I think the tree will go up.
Yeah,
I think the candy canes on the street lights will go, but that'll be about it.
The decorations, but I still don't think it's gonna be anything spectacular.
I don't think it's going to be anything crazy. No. Plus,
that's just my opinion.
Plus saving as much money as they can for trying to figure out what they're going to do for the 50th. Yeah. I don't know.
A little random.
Randomness, what's going on? Let's go to another quiz, John.
Someone put, when we were talking about the Grand Floridian, feeling rich would be nice. I mean, yeah, it would be. But, yeah. Christmas itself brings crowds, yeah. What about Disneyland? Do you think they will ever open that? I'm hoping to go there someday because I've never been. So, I think they're going to open Disneyland. I don't know exactly when, but Universal Hollywood has announced their opening date.
Just City Walk.
Okay, City Walk.
City Walk is open.
So, I then foresee Downtown Disney and Disneyland then opening.
Well, downtown is open.
It is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here's my mindset. If we're basing it off of the pattern here in Florida, Universal Hollywood will open first, and a month and a half later is when Disneyland will open. But I don't know exactly when.
You got to figure this too. In Florida, the reason why we rushed these theme parks to be open, Disney and Universal, was because our governor DeSantis
had them
can't survive
off of without its theme parks opening, and he had the theme parks be a part of like the reopening committee. Disneyland, however, in California,
they don't need Disney to survive.
Disneyland and Universal.
There's too much going on there. There's too much going on.
They have a lot of other stuff going on. So, and California governor has also been a lot more hesitant to reopen the state, and for good reasons. I'm not saying that it's not. Whereas the Florida governor was like, we're going to do whatever we can to get this state open and get people back down here.
Because Florida
will
crash.
Yeah, Florida relies on its tourists.
Yeah.
So.
In Florida, they care about, and it's right, it's all politics. All politics.
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 It's all politics.
It's all politics, man. It's, we care about money more than lives or something like that.
I don't know.
I try not to get into politics on here. You know, it's just not good.
Okay, so Samantha Lewis asked, if you could have any pet in the world of your choice, what would you choose? Monkey!
A wolf.
Two very different responses.
A wolf. And the closest thing I can get to that is a husky.
Then I get a little capuchin monkey.
I get a wolf to eat it.
I remember when we were planning our move to Florida, I actually looked up the laws on owning a monkey. Because in Pennsylvania, I was not allowed to have one without a license. And typically, with a license, it was because it was in a zoo or anything like that. And I wanted one in my house. And in Florida, I don't need a license. The problem is I don't know where to go buy a monkey. Legally. I'm not going on the black market, people.
My wolf would eat your monkey. I'm just saying.
Nope. I've been wanting a monkey since I was little. Every year for Christmas, I would ask my parents for a monkey. And every year for Christmas, my parents would get me something related to a monkey.
Like a stuffed animal.
Like a stuffed animal or like a sock monkey or socks with monkeys on. I never got the actual monkey. I'm still waiting for that monkey.
Yeah.
I love monkeys.
All right, let's go to another question.
I'm getting there. I'm going back.
Yep.
What was the last thing you read?
What was the last thing I read?
Are we talking like books?
Well, yeah. What else would you read?
Magazines.
Books, I imagine they're saying. The last full book I read was called, I think it was Heroin Diaries. It was a book about Nikki Sixx, basis of Motley Crue, and it was just his life, what he was going through on heroin, and obviously how he died 3 times, literally, and, came back. That was the last book I read. The book I'm currently reading now is called Grey Wolf, which is like moments after World War II, up until like roughly 1960 some. Pretty much, it's not a conspiracy theory book, but kind of is. But yet they have like proof of identification stuff, paperwork, because they're opening up a case again. And so it is like possible, very, very possible, that everything we were taught in school about what I'm reading is and was a lie. And I'm really hooked on it because I'm doing my own research outside of that book to even look, and there's other Not just theories, but other proof, like
Kathy said
identifications and
that's her favorite
everything. You know, Grey Wolf is amazing. That's currently what I'm reading.
I don't actually remember which book was the last book I read. I did a lot of reading when we lived up in PA, probably because there just wasn't as much for us to do as there is down here. So I'm just gonna guess that it was either the book, because I wouldn't say I'm into depressing books, but I like reading like real life stories from people who lived them. Because they all still have like a happy ending. Like they survived whatever it was. So I'm going to say the last book I read was either J.C. Lee Dugard's book, and she was the one that was kidnapped and held captive for 18 years, or it was Michelle Knight's book, and she was one of the Cleveland abduction victims. But my mom got me the book that, was it Rachel or Rebecca Jeffs wrote, which I haven't read it yet, but she's the daughter of Warren Jeffs, the FLDS prophet. So yeah, I like reading books that aren't necessarily very happy, but there's still somewhat of a happy ending because they came out of it and survived. Like, I remember there was one book I read, it was very hard to read because the author did not hide any details about her abuse.
Pretty much we like biography books in a sense.
Yeah, because all the books I read, they're written by the people that actually lived them. So I like autobiography.
Yeah. I like autobiography and history books because they're from real life.
I remember the one book
real things.
The one book I read, it was called Convinced. My mom wanted to read it and I warned her. The very first page, like, it starts right into it. And I remember my mom, like, read the first chapter and she looked at me, she's like, I don't know how you read this book in 2 days.
Yeah.
And I was like, because I knew there was a happy ending. So I knew if I got through all this crazy stuff, I would get to the happy part. And it's exactly what happened. So it's depressing, but it's happy at the end. Usually.
Yeah, usually.
There's been a couple where, like, it's still sad, but they've at least gotten past it, so.
Okay.
I have both books she mentioned. See? And
nice.
Aren't they good? Like, they're terrible, but they're good, if you know what I'm getting at. So, 50 Shades of Grey, all of them, is what Kathy said. I watched the movie about the girls. Yeah, I saw that movie, too, about the Cleveland abduction. It's terrible. Okay. Someone, Brianna said, what Disney items have you bought since the parks reopened, or Disney-related items? Nicholas Sparks books. I read those in high school like all the time. Either Nicholas Sparks or Lily McDaniels. Sad thing about every one of those books is that those two authors wrote is someone always dies. That's the sad part, but they were really good. Okay, anyway, back to Samantha's question. Last thing. What did she say? Yeah, what Disney items have you bought since the parks reopened, or Disney-related items?
I bought 2 things since the parks opened.
Since the parks opened.
Yeah. One was not even at the park that I bought. I bought at World of Disney. Was the Indiana Jones puzzle.
That wasn't before the parks opened. Or that was before the parks opened.
Oh.
We're talking about since the parks opened.
Oh, well then just one thing. I bought cologne from Norway.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I bought cologne from Norway. I took advantage of the 30% off. And I didn't think it would be off perfume or like cologne.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, you get your 30. And I was like, cool, I'm going to get cologne.
I haven't bought anything
Because that store
crazy.
smells awesome. My favorite store to go into. Because it just smells so
I think the most
nice.
I bought from Disney since the parks reopened have been Starbucks.
Well, of course, Starbucks.
And the Satchel Lake Canteen.
Yeah, I don't think you bought anything.
Bought anything. And Friday's the last day that the sales go
Yeah,
on.
I think it ends the 14th. Yeah, because when we go into the park, I always say, all right, if you want anything.
But I never, find something that I'm like, I found that dress, and then you were like, you have one just like, and I was like, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
So then I didn't buy it.
But that was in Norway, too. A lot of shops inside the parks are closed, especially Epcot, which is, I would do my most shopping at Epcot, especially the World Showcase.
But a lot of the stuff is closed.
Like, one of my favorite shops, Germany.
The Germany, yeah.
The main one is closed.
The main gift shop in Germany is closed.
Yeah, and the main gift shop in Italy is closed.
Yeah.
Japan's
Although
open.
Italy's gift shops I never really got into just because it was more.
They're very
It
small.
was either like wines or like sport. Which like I like the sports, but like.
Well, they stopped selling the jerseys and sports stuff like that. I don't know why. And I asked them, and they said they didn't know why either.
Yeah, so I haven't really bought anything really from the parks.
Not so much.
Like Disney related.
So I bought cologne. I bought gear.
Starbucks.
Yeah, I bought that geared cologne. I don't know. It smells good. You like it, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Because remember, guys, cologne is not for you. It's for your lady.
It's for your lady.
Pretty much. Let's be honest. Because if your girlfriend, wife, whoever, or if you're single and you're trying to meet a woman, they don't like the way you smell, like cologne-wise, then you just wasted your money on nothing.
Well, I was there when you bought it.
Yeah. So, like, when I used to buy colognes, like before, even when I was single, I would take one of my girlfriends with, actually 2 of them, and they would help me.
Which one do you like?
They would help me pick out the colognes.
Which is gonna get me a girl?
Yeah, which cologne's gonna get me a girl because it's not gonna be my personality.
BO is kind of a turn off, yeah.
What? You don't like the El Natural?
No.
That musky scent?
No. Kathy said, what's your favorite drink in Epcot?
Well, they don't even sell it anymore. Germany, Francis Connor, but they don't sell it anymore.
No. However, there was... So
I love wheat beers.
Yeah, typically during Food and Wine, though, they have a beer flight at...
We always go Germany.
Germany.
That's the only place we can get a beer flight.
And there's like a fruity beer that they have. Never remember what it is, but it's like pinkish looking.
Oh, yeah, you like it. It's too fruity for me.
It's like fruity.
I like wheat. Otherwise, if I'm going off stuff now on a hot day like today, I'd go to Mexico and get myself a margarita.
Margarita.
Refreshing.
Or I go to Japan and I get my Japanese soda.
Your
ramune.
My
ramune.
Yeah.
Where I can pop the ball through the bottle and then I drink it.
I'm not a fan of ramune.
I like it.
I don't know why. I'm just not.
Some drink in France I like. There was one when Bob came down. I think it was when we first moved here. And he got that like green drink from France. It was pretty good because he let me have a sip of it. I don't remember what it was.
I don't know. That was a while
ago. Grasshopper? I don't know. What are your favorite colors?
I see...
Purple. Purple. Even though the shirt says love pink, it's purple.
I don't like just one color. Like I like a combinations of color
black,
together.
And blue.
Like for me, it's black and green, or it's black and purple. You know, but mainly black and green are my go-to colors.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't just like black or just green. It has to be a combination.
I like purple. Purple.
Yeah. Okay.
Purple everything. Purple's great.
Okay.
Made all my bridesmaids wear purple. I wore purple shoes. I had a purple flower in my hair. Everything was purple. You had to wear a purple shirt because
I didn't wear purple. I wore lavender.
It's a form of purple.
It's in the purple realm, but it was lavender, and I looked good.
I looked good.
I looked good.
Yeah, because your groomsmen, they just wore white shirts, didn't they?
Yeah, I was the only one in the color.
Yeah. Okay. What is your favorite quote from a TV show, movie, or book?
Well, lately...
Let me think.
Lately, for me, a favorite quote would be from a movie because
National Treasure.
No.
I thought you were gonna, why would the president say that's here and then call the cops? The president's a tattletale, that's why.
That is a good one. But lately, because my work has me on this, I'm finishing up this random 8-day stretch. Lately, I've been so drained. Like, Lisa will see me and she's like, you look tired, like I'm monotoned. I'm like, just like hating life. And lately, it's been from Forrest Gump, I'm tired. I think I want to go home now. It's that one just because of how drained I am and I just want to go to bed.
I'm trying to think of my favorite, what is it? TV, movie, or
whatever.
TV show, movie, or book. Favorite quote. I don't know. I feel like I always relate to Ron from Harry Potter. The spiders, they want me to tap dance. I don't want to tap dance.
So tell them no.
So tell them that, Ron. I'll tell the spiders.
You do say that quote a lot, even if it's just random.
Yeah.
Like, it has
I don't
nothing to
like
do with
spiders. I'm terrified of them. But I don't know if that's my favorite. It's just one I always...
That's like a go-to for you. I do hear you quote that a lot.
Yeah. Even when it's not that Harry Potter movie. If it's any of the other ones, I'll still just...
You still just say it.
What would be one of my favorite ones? There's a lot of good quotes from Christmas Vacation.
Oh, yeah. That's the problem. To pick just one...
It's really hard.
Because there's so many in every show, every movie. I could pick, like, a great quote from everything.
I steal Reba's line a lot from her show. I'll just call him a moron.
I'll even say RoboCop. You guys remember that movie from the 80s? Dead or Alive, you're coming with me. Like, that's a great quote.
And just because National Treasure, both of them were on recently, and because someone... Well, you shared the post on 4th of July when you're drunk on 4th of July. You thought, I'm going to steal a Declaration of Independence. And then I was telling Tony on the way home today, I'm like, and on President's Day, you're drunk, you're like, I'm going to kidnap the President of the United States. Like,
that's right. National Treasure is quotable.
But yeah, there's just too many. I don't know.
It's hard to pick
I guess the one I quote the most, though, is when Ron wakes up from a nightmare about spiders.
Yeah, I guess.
Because I, too, also have nightmares about spiders. Since I usually don't wake up talking, I usually wake up because Tony's waking me up from kicking him.
Yeah, she'll kick me with her spiders.
And I don't even know it. Like, I'm having, like, a very visual nightmare about spiders, and it's, like, in my dream, I'm trying to, like, kick them off. Or, like, just kick my feet to get them away. Never
that is a great quote. That's what she said, Michael Scott. I use that quote a lot, actually. When people set them up, I just knock them down with, that's what she said. She always does that, too, when I say that. Michael Scott, from The Office, probably has the best quotes. Like, you could use anything he says.
Fact. Dwight Schrute is the best.
Bears beats Battlestar Galactica. The Office is so quotable. And it does have a lot of my favorites.
There's just a lot of stuff.
Too many. I don't know. I can't think of any. I don't know. Next question.
And Boy Meets World, there's a lot.
You seem to always go back to, you suck from Boy Meets World.
Just remember Matthew's you suck. No, and
He was a giver.
I like when Corey, too, has, like, all the dreams about killing Sean. He's like,
I'm Mary Poppins.
You asked me for an umbrella. So I gave it to you, I shoved it down your throat, and I opened it. You opened it? Oh, Sean, I'm Mary Poppins, yeah.
Mary Poppins. That's a good one, too.
All right, so,
yeah, we could go on and on about quotes.
How old were you when you had your first celebrity crush, and who was it?
Ooh.
I have no idea.
If I couldn't tell you the age. But I could probably... I don't know who it was first. So I'm going to say 2 because I don't know which one was the first.
Jennifer Aniston.
Jennifer Aniston was one of them. And Alicia Silverstone. Or Alicia. Is it Alicia or Alicia? Alicia. It's Alicia.
I feel like it's probably Alicia.
I don't know. Alicia. I think it's Alicia Silverstone. Whatever happened to that girl?
I don't know.
Whatever happened to that woman? She don't do nothing anymore.
She don't do nothing.
I think the last movie I seen her in was Blast from the Past. I think I showed you that movie once.
Maybe.
When they go in a fallout shelter because they thought like the world was going to explode like the bomb and it wasn't. It was something else. And they lived underneath for so long. They were like
still in like the 50s.
Yeah,
I remember.
That's a great movie.
Lisa is correct.
On what?
Alicia.
No,
not Alicia.
Alicia. Whatever. I don't know. I don't know who it was. It was either Jennifer or Alicia.
And he still has a big crush on Jennifer Aniston.
Of course
he tells me all the time he'll leave me just for a peck on the cheek.
It's a true story. I say that proudly.
It's okay. I tell him I'll leave him for a shot at Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, you would.
But that was not my first celebrity crush. I don't know how old I was.
Was it one of the Backstreet Boys?
No, it was NSYNC.
Oh, it was NSYNC. Was it Lance Bass?
No, that was Tara's.
That was my sister's.
No, I always went for like the guy that no one would go for. I liked Chris.
I don't know who that is.
He had like the dreadlock braids. I mean, he doesn't, and then he like cut his hair. But that was like the early days.
Still don't know who that is.
Okay. Yeah, but I don't know how old I was.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Chris.
If I had to take a stab at my age, I probably would say 13. I don't know. If I had to take a stab at my age.
Probably still in elementary school.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But Jennifer Aniston is still,
Tony says names like I do. Says Paging Miss Tomorrow. Alicia.
Yeah, it's
Alicia.
I don't know.
New Kids on the Block. Which was your favorite?
I can't remember what my sister's favorite was. Angie's.
I never really got into New Kids on the Block.
She had like a wall clock.
No, I was too big into NSYNC and Backstreet.
Like she had I wish she still had it just because I wonder how much money that stuff would be. Like she had all the
She and Donnie. Does anybody watch the Wahlburgers on TV? I love that show, and it's all about the Wahlbergs.
She had all the Barbie dolls, the guy ones, the Ken dolls that were all New Kids on the Block. You guys remember in the 80s or 80s, early 90s, the wall clock was an actual watch, but it was huge, and you would just put it on your wall, and it was a New Kids on the Block one. So I was like, I wish you still had that stuff just to see how much of that would be going for
Someone
today.
said they watch Blue Bloods. I don't watch Blue Bloods. I watch the Wahlburgers. Or Wahlburgers.
I don't know.
Because Donnie is on Blue Bloods.
Yeah.
But I don't watch that. Nope.
I think Angie liked the really young one. With the high-pitched voice. I don't know. I don't remember his name.
Wonder if they'll ever open the character warehouse.
Never again.
Christine says she still has her Donnie doll.
See, there you go. There you go. My sister, I don't think I'll have to call her. She still has all her vintage, still in box, like 80s and 90s Barbie doll, like Siri collection ones. I don't think they're worth anything anymore. So I'll have to ask her if she still has any of the New Kids on the Block ones.
My old American Girl. Well, I have 2 American Girl dolls and my twin doll, which they pretty much would make a doll that looked like you.
No.
Clearly doesn't look like me anymore. But yeah. So.
I know.
Okay.
Next question.
Do you have any pet? Oh wait. No, I skipped one. What's one thing that can instantly make your day better?
Music. No matter how, in my opinion, no matter how hard life is, because we all know, especially now, life just seems to really bring one down. For me, music always picks me up and keeps me positive. You know, whether through a message or just the music itself. It lifts me up and it's okay. It does, because it's just like when I wake up, you know, grab some coffee, put on some punk rock, and just get it done. You know, that's the motto of a Tony.
Animals, except I don't own any.
Pop,
when we dog sat, though, Poppy always made my days better when I came home from work. But yeah, animals, but since I don't have any, can't really do it. But little kids and babies, like, always make my day better. So I find myself, like, when I'm having a rough day, I will, like, FaceTime one of my siblings, especially the ones that have little kids, because I know, like, they're just gonna make my day better. Like, I remember the one time I called my sister and she didn't answer. My 3-year-old niece picked up, and her and I just had, like, an hour-long conversation.
I don't know.
Yeah, like, little kids, especially, like, my family, like, that makes my day better. Especially the kids. I mean, I call my mom, but, like...
I mean, I call my mom.
I call my mom, but... Not that my mom doesn't make my day better. But sometimes you just need to, like...
So your mom... I'm going to tell your
no,
mom.
No, I'm not saying she
not
never...
make her day better. Never call her... This is why I'm the favorite. This
You're
is why...
not the favorite!
This is why your mom likes me better than you.
No, because I'm her flesh and blood, and
but
I look like her.
But she likes me better than you.
No, she doesn't.
Ask her.
I have.
And she likes me better.
No.
You see all the love and attention she gives me when she sees me?
feel like she does that with all of her.
Yeah, but I always seem to be a little bit more.
Really? Really a little bit more than JJ?
See, it was JJ, but I think I'm slowly taking over JJ.
I don't think you are.
I think
JJ will always be the top just because he's been around the longest.
But I'm quirky.
I'm quirky. You are a bit quirky.
But I'm quirky.
Yeah. I don't know. Kids.
Next question. No, you kids be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, do you have any pet peeves? Yes!
I have a lot of pet peeves.
Pet peeves! Stop wearing your Mickey ears and your Disney apparel at Universal and stop wearing your Harry Potter stuff at Disney. I like both, but they belong in their own separate parks. Leave them that way! It drives me nuts. It really does. It drives me nuts. I see people walking around with like a Harry Potter shirt. We're at Magic Kingdom. I'm like, you're in the wrong park. And then I see like the people over at Disney that have their Minnie ears or like their Mickey Mouse shirt. And I'm like, you're at the wrong park. Go to the other one or take it off and wear something else.
Lisa has spoken.
Stop doing it. Pet peeve.
For me, I keep life simple. One of my biggest pet peeves are socks with sandals. Like, what's the point of that? I still don't know the point of that.
My other pet peeve is people that walk slow. I do not like to walk slow, and when I am stuck behind a crowd of people walking slow, I am like losing my mind because I'm trying to find the little space gap that I can like squeeze in. Because my regular speed of walk is usually people speed walking. Wouldn't you say that's true?
Yeah, your little legs
You're
move
always
fast.
like, why are you going so fast? I'm not going fast. This is my normal pace. Like, stop walking slow.
Yeah. Most of the time, like, if you see me, like, filming and you're watching a video of ours, and you'll see, like, at the beginning, it may shake a little bit, is because usually Lisa's yelling at me to, like, hurry up.
Like,
or I'm trying to keep up because I'll stop and she's so far away.
It's funny because even
so that I can gain stabilization back.
Even in some of the videos when I watch it, and, like, I'll just start walking while you're still filming, and, like, you'll turn around because you'll be like, all right, let's get to it, and I'm, like, all the way up there.
And I'm like, oh. And then, like, when I cut scene and you see, like, a little shaking, it's because I'm trying to catch up to Lisa.
I don't know how to walk slow, and when I have to walk slow, it drives me nuts. I don't know how to walk slow. And
then it's like, you hear me breathing heavy, like, at the beginning of that take, like, it's because I practically had to run to Lisa, because she's so far up.
Samantha said she hates slow walkers at the grocery store. I hate them wherever we're at.
She just hates them in general.
Stop walking slow.
Pick up those feet.
Pick up the feet.
Stop shuffling.
Yeah. Pet peeves. Don't wear park stuff at other parks. And don't walk slow.
And socks
don't wear socks with sandals.
Just wear socks with your shoes or sandals in your bare feet. I don't understand it. Not knocking anybody that does it. I just don't understand it. Anyways.
I love getting ears. I just wore ears to work yesterday and I work in a kitchen. But see that, to me... Although I'm laughing, like that doesn't bother me unless you worked in a kitchen at Universal. Then it bothers me. Like you can't just intermix the two parks. One, they're two separate entities, which like some of my siblings still can't get it through their head that these are two different businesses. They're two different businesses and they're competitors. Stop doing it. But I don't care if you wear it in your kitchen at work. That's fine.
It is acceptable if you go like on Etsy or one of those websites and they make like a collaboration shirt.
Yes.
Then that's acceptable.
Like I've seen shirts where it's like it has the the Cinderella castle, but it has like Harry Potter writing, or vice versa. It'll have the Hogwarts castle with Disney writing, and it says something like, "I'm a Disney princess until I get my letter from Hogwarts." I'm okay with that. You can wear Marvel at both parks. Why? Because Disney owns Marvel partially, and Universal has all the Marvel rides. It's okay. You can wear Simpson stuff at both parks. However, you are never going to see Bart Simpson at Disney.
Universal still owns Marvel east of the Mississippi. That's why Disneyland is getting the Marvel land, and you'll never see that in Florida because Universal owns that.
Yeah.
So Florida will never get that.
So you can wear Marvel at both parks, you can wear Simpsons at both parks, but stop wearing Harry Potter to Disney and stop wearing Mickey over at Universal.
Oh. Moving on. We could get Lisa riled up.
Yeah, you could. What type of music does Lisa dig? Different taste than Tony? Yes.
Lisa, don't listen to...
I do not really listen. I listen to his stuff when we're in the car together because...
And she knows the words.
Because I've heard it enough. But I don't necessarily enjoy the music.
She'll start mouthing some Rancid tunes. It's awesome.
Without even knowing it because I just hear it so often.
What do you dig?
Pretty much listen to whatever's on the radio. I just hit scan until I hear music.
Until you hear music.
I guess pop. Like a little bit of country. Not really into rap.
No, you're not.
I like musicals to an extent.
You're more of a pop dance. Anything that you could probably dance to in a sense.
I think because I used to dance.
But not like that electro stuff.
No, not like...
techno-y.
Not like club dancing. Like stuff that like... someone could actually choreograph a dance to.
Yeah.
But I grew up dancing, so I think that's why I also like that music is because like we often dance to that stuff. And it's easy to come up with dance stuff, even though I don't dance anymore.
Yeah.
I pull too many muscles.
It happens.
Yeah. Can't even do a cartwheel anymore.
You
so
try.
Sad. Can't do a split. So sad. I can't even sit in a straddle without it hurting.
It's called old age.
It's called I stopped stretching.
Old age.
That too.
You gotta limber.
There's people older than me though that can still dance.
Rule number 1, limber up.
Yeah. Need to work on that one.
Next question.
Kind of going along with that. What song always gets you out on the dance floor? I know.
What song? I know, Lisa. I know
what?
Yours. That Shut Up and Dance With Me song.
Shut up and dance with me.
Yeah.
That song always gets me out. But if we're going like more with like Cotton Eye Joe will get me out on the dance floor. Because who doesn't like dancing to Cotton Eye Joe? What's the other one I like?
The only one that...
Not the electric slide. Cha-cha slide.
Oh, yeah, you'll go for cha-cha.
You go for cha-cha, too.
Not really. I get
we have enough
forced.
drinks and enough.
Yeah, I get forced because women say I know how to shake my hips.
Your lack of hips.
But I know how to shake them. I know how to get it in. What gets me out on the dance floor? Nothing by choice. It's usually Lisa forcing me and or the DJ forcing me because all they got to do is know if I have a couple drinks in me, like where you're like loose, you know, and they'll put on Footloose.
That's usually when we're together, though.
Yeah, when we're together, they'll put on Footloose because they know that Lisa and I will do the dance.
Yeah.
So that's about it.
Footloose will get Tony on the dance floor.
Yeah, Footloose will. Until, like, I pass out after, like, 10 seconds of doing it because it's like, oh my god, I'm getting old. I didn't limber up.
I didn't limber up. I didn't stretch.
I didn't stretch. It was just a spur of the moment, get out here.
Except the only thing about doing that Footloose dance is, like...
Because it's
when it starts getting to the
man.
verses, though, and then it's like, we don't know what to do.
But,
we only,
but that chorus is all two-stepping, and, man.
Get me out on the dance floor with Shut Up and Dance With Me. I have my own dance I came up with for that.
Yeah, usually she forces my face to her face and she smacks it around. Usually that's the truth of it.
I don't smack you. I just grab your face because you gotta look at me.
See? And then she's like, oh, start smacking. Next question.
What's the best joke you've ever heard?
What's the best joke I've ever heard?
There was one you got me with that was a dad joke that I couldn't stop laughing, but now I don't remember what it was.
Didn't it involve a chicken?
Yes! That's the best joke ever.
Oh yeah, I know it. I think what it was. Well, oh, it's a dad joke. I do remember it. It's actually really funny. It's close to my number 1. It's like number 1 or number 2.
I don't know why it made me laugh so hard.
It's here's the joke. Why did the chicken cross the road? And then you would say, I don't know why, to get to your house. And they'd look at you like, what? And then you're like knock, knock.
No, hold on. So then, that was supposed to be the end of the joke.
Oh, so I waited like 30 seconds
yeah, so
later.
We were just talking. He's like, oh, knock, knock. Who is there? The chicken that crossed the road. And I just died laughing.
And that's the whole joke.
I don't know why I thought it was so funny.
So you got to tell that joke. Why'd the chicken cross the road and why? To get to your house. And they look at you like all stupid. So then you randomly just talk about something else, give it 30 seconds, and then say, oh, knock, knock. Oh, who's there? The chicken that crossed the road. And then that's the end of it.
And the first time he did that to me, I laughed uncontrollably. I don't know why.
One of my other favorite jokes I've heard, I've been saying it since, oh my God, high school, I think. Lisa, guess what?
What?
You guessed it. That's it.
It's not as funny as the chicken.
That's it. Guess what? What? You guessed it.
That's so funny.
Because you guessed what?
Okay.
What is like the object and you
I understand.
I am such a dad joker. You know what I mean? Like, to me, like, I'm like, punk is dad. You know what I mean? Because my old age.
He does like his dad jokes, but yeah, that chicken one just, I love it. It's so stupid.
I'm here all night if you need more jokes.
Don't quit your day job.
Oh, I actually did a YouTube video during quarantine when the parks were closed. You can look it up.
Like your dad jokes?
No. It was all... I think it was all Disney jokes that were so stupid.
Yeah.
I was telling like Disney jokes that are so dumb but...
funny.
Hilarious. I don't know, look at it. It's like 3-minute video and I give all these like Disney dad jokes. It's amazing. Tim's excited. I'll be here all night. I should do a stand-up comedy one day on YouTube.
I don't think it's gonna go over well.
I think it'd be great.
Okay. What's the phone app you use most?
Anything that keeps my mind going.
Facebook.
No, like...
No, I'm talking about for me, it's probably Facebook.
Like, yeah, social media stuff, yeah, but outside of that, like, apps, when I get away, probably anything that works my mind, because sometimes when you're on social media for so long, your mind goes to mush.
Yeah.
It really does.
Okay, so outside of social media...
I didn't finish.
You hit me, I hit you.
Stop it, bully, you jerk. Jerk face. I would do Tetris. Is probably my go to keep the brain active. And I'm not on it as much as Lisa, but I dabble
on Tetris anymore.
No, I dabble on Duolingo because Duolingo is like this free app where you can learn different languages, and I've been dabbling. I'm not on it like every day.
I'm on a 160-day streak.
See, and that's awesome. Me, like, I'll do it for like a month, and then I'll take like a week or two off. I think because something happens, I'm just like tired, and I don't go on it. But I was doing Norwegian, and now I'm on German.
I think because you got frustrated with Norwegian, and because you already had some knowledge of German, I think you figured, well, if I complete German first, then I can go back and kind of figure Norway.
Yeah. So I think I'm just gonna, do that. Since I do know German a lot more. Like, I was terrible in Spanish class, but I was always ace German. I was better at speaking German.
Duolingo is helping me though. I still can't, I'm not comfortable speaking it, but I noticed that I'm able to pick up a lot more on like what patients at the hospital are saying. Like, even though I go in with the interpreter, a lot of times I'm already writing down what they're saying before the interpreter is telling me it back in English.
But that's good though. So that shows that it's,
but I just don't feel comfortable enough yet
to not use an interpreter.
Well, yeah, because I know I can't hold a full conversation.
And sometimes...
And especially because my job is more... Speed is one thing. They all sound super fast, which I know that they're not. Like, I'm sure our English sounds super fast to them. So speed is another thing. And also because I'm in the medical profession.
Yeah.
I don't know the medical terminology. I mean, I'm picking up on some of it just because if I'm asking the same question to a lot of patients, I'm picking it up that way. But if a patient starts talking to me about, like, a medical thing, I'm going to have no idea what they're saying.
Yeah.
So, unless there's a Spanish-speaking nurse in the room, then I just have them do it for me.
Yeah, why not?
So.
It gets done faster.
Yeah, it does.
Do you?
Oh, my favorite, or the app I use the most. So, outside of social media, play a lot of games on my phone.
You're a Minesweeper person.
I do like my Minesweeper.
But that's a thinking game. That keeps your brain active.
So I do like Minesweeper. I enjoy Mahjong.
I love Mahjong. I haven't played that in a long time.
Obviously, I do Duolingo, but I don't necessarily... Like, some days I'll spend a lot of time on Duolingo. Some days it's like 5 minutes.
No.
So it just kind of depends. But I think the other app I use the most is the Tasty app because I like getting recipe ideas.
Yeah.
So. Oh, wow. It's 8:22 already.
Yeah, we're finished.
Wrap this up.
We're finishing.
What's your most prized possession and why?
My prized possession is it's probably gonna sound stupid, but it's a record. When I got into punk rock, it was like more of like they weren't like really like mainstream, but they were bigger bands like Green Day, Pennywise, Rancid, things like that. But when I was still young, one of my neighbors, Rick, he gave me a band to listen to called The Queers. Now, this is back in the day when you could name your band those things and it didn't really matter as much. Really? It was called A Day Late and a Dollar Short. And that wasn't mainstream at all. It was like really raw, aggressional, fast, and weren't long songs.
I know what mine is.
And it made me want to explore more of the underground of punk rock and oi. So I rebought that record just because, and it's so silly, but that's what it is because of that single record of this band, The Queers, an album's called A Day Late, a Dollar Short, that was the glue, I guess, that just got me into it, if that makes sense. You know, really helped kickstart. Anyways.
So my most prized possession. So a few years ago, my siblings and I surprised my mom by having a quilt made of her parents' clothing. And what we didn't know was that there were apparently a lot of like bags of clothes still left over. So then my parents surprised all of us and had a quilt made as well. So I have my own quilt made of my grandparents' clothing. So this is probably one of my most prized possessions.
And this is actually from his clothing, so like
both of them.
Oh, both of them.
So like these are all my nanny's house dresses that they cut up, and then
plaid shirts. I see.
There's ties on it too. Like this is a tie.
I thought it was a very neat idea.
Yeah, like and some of them still have like buttons on. Like the arm still has the buttons to the shirt on it. So I have them always with me. And I guess the other thing that kind of goes along with it is usually anytime someone passes away in my family, my mom collects flowers from the funeral and then she takes them to this company that puts, like, they'll separate all the flowers. So, and they'll put it in like a little glass cube and it's just like a little memorial. Mm-hmm. So I have one for 3 of my grandparents and my aunt now. So, yeah. But I think this one's my favorite just because it's warm.
It's warm.
It makes me feel close to them.
There you go.
So
it's very sentimental.
It is. I'm a sentimental person, unlike you.
It is true.
It is true.
It is true.
So,
I think we're coming up on like the last question or so.
Almost. What would be the first thing you'd do if you won the lottery? I'm practical. I would pay off my debt.
That would be my answer. Pay off the debt and buy you a new car. That's it. Simple.
And then travel if there's any money left over. Yeah. Depending on how much money we won in the lottery.
I would do the adult thing.
Pay off my student loan debt because I got a lot of it. Pay off any credit cards that I'm still paying off. Pay off the house. Pay off the car. And then go buy me a new car because I need one.
And that'd be it.
And then travel.
Yeah.
If I could.
Yeah. Depending on the money.
I'm practical.
Yeah. That's adulting.
You say, like, yeah, that's what I would do. But a lot of times when we talk about, like, oh, we're getting money, you're like, and so what are we going to do with this money that we're getting? Like, I want to pay off bills.
Yeah. And then I get, like, a tattoo or two. But that'd be about it.
I'm definitely the more practical one of the two of us.
Yeah. I have good intentions.
How long have you lived in Florida and what made you move? So we've been down here for... 2.5 years?
2.5 years.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2.5 years.
And the short answer...
The short answer.
The very short, because we could get into it. I'll give the short answer. It was my decision, not Lisa's. Well, I mean, I needed her to come along.
Yeah, it was a mutual agreement.
A mutual agreement, but it was more my thought than hers, obviously.
Yes.
So the quick answer to that was I lived in a state, a town, a city of my life because I was stuck there. I couldn't move at the time. I couldn't do anything. Like, you're just stuck.
You also always wanted to move to Florida, though.
And I always wanted to move to Florida, so I figured I spent the first, I'll say half, of my life in a place that I was stuck, and I wanted to live out the rest of my days doing what I wanted and being where I wanted to be. So that's the real short answer.
Yeah, the way he got me to agree to it at the time, I was working a job that I never had time off. I was on call 24/7, was getting woken up at 3 a.m. every night, and then still having to work all day long. And he struggled to find a job where we were living at the time, so he went back to our hometown to work. So he was actually living with my parents during the week and then coming home on the weekends. So we were living two separate lives, and we were both fed up. And he said, let's just start over and move to Florida. And he thought I was going to put up a fight, and I was like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
But that was that. So
I always thought that...
And will we stay in Florida?
Yeah, I'm staying.
I've told my family this. I have no desire to move back to Pennsylvania. I miss my family. Like, I will go up there to visit. And my mom always, like, brings that up. Like, but don't you miss spending time with your family? Yes. All of you can move to Florida. I do not miss PA outside of family.
Yeah.
I don't miss it.
I really don't miss it at all. I mean, there's certain things I miss, little, but it's very little things.
I do miss seeing mountains. I do miss, like, hiking mountains. Hiking in Florida is not hiking. So yeah, those are things I miss, but
otherwise,
I don't want to move back.
No, not for me. Not for me.
My brother said the same thing ever since he moved down too. He has no desire to move back to PA. Last one.
This is the last question.
If you had unlimited money to start your own business, what would it be? I got no idea.
I would probably do, because me and my dad, my old man, talked about this for many, many years, and we're never going to do it because we don't have the income to have a business. But we always talked about for the longest time opening up a music shop. One where, like, you could buy records and things like that, and then on the other side of it where you could buy musical instruments, get lessons. So it was, and then have like a deck, like an outside where we would have local bands perform on like Friday, Saturday night. So it's like three things in one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a record shop, awesome. The music shop, especially like places where I see where there's a lot of, well, when you could go to shows, there was a lot of venues, and I speak for myself because I was in bands and touring around states to states to states all the time. And I always found trouble that where the venue was, if I would have broke a string or did something like that, and I didn't have like, oh, I forgot to bring a pack with me on tour or something like that, or do a gig, there wasn't a nearby close shop to go to either rent a guitar if my guitar broke, or just, oh, I forgot I broke a string. Oh, I don't have a D string. I gotta go somewhere. And, you know, we said, why not be to a local venue, like close by, like up the street? You know, that was kind of our thing, but it never, and will never happen.
I never had a desire to own my own business, but I would need Tony on board, which I don't think I'll ever get.
Oh, I need me on board, jeez.
Well, because you'd have to do the cooking.
Oh, no.
I think I wouldn't mind for us to open up like a small little local, like...
Food trucks are the way to go.
Okay, food truck, but you gotta be the one to cook, because I can't cook.
I would probably cook for that.
I shouldn't say I can't cook.
Food trucks are the way to go, man. That would be my second thing. I would open up a business for a food truck.
See, there we go. Food truck.
I would do that.
I don't know what we would make.
And not a standstill food truck, like I would actually drive around.
I don't know what we would make. A food truck.
Yeah.
With food.
I don't know either, but I would drive around and not be stationaried.
And I feel like I would want to...
Like these food trucks at Disney Springs? No, I don't want those stationary. I would drive around. Go to the locals. Go to the towns. Go to the cities. Yeah. You know, go around. Yeah. That'd be me. Tacos. Everybody loves tacos. Tacos. Everybody loves tacos. Like tacos. Everybody loves a good taco. I don't know.
But yeah, that's that.
It would be cool if I could think of like a type of food off the top of my head. I would think like NOLA style food truck.
You'd make your own shrimp po' boy.
Yeah,
barbecue shrimp po' boy.
Make
nothing but fat because all that sauce was butter in Worcestershire.
That's what barbecue sauce is, a NOLA. But no, like NOLA style. Like yeah, if you want a po' boy, get a po' boy. It's occasion. Have like a pot of like seafood gumbo or something like that. I feel like our food truck
would definitely be more towards our diet.
Yeah, of course.
We're not making steak and chicken.
But see, I think that's what would work too. There's not a lot of vegetarian, vegan, pescatarian.
There better be shrimp on the menu.
You know, but there's not a lot of those that are food trucks. Everything else is a chicken, a steak, a beef, you know, something like that. There's not very vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian friendly food truck.
No.
So I think that would do well. But I think that would do well, not here, but in like the actual mecca of the cities, like Orlando would probably do well.
Mecca of Orlando, like downtown Orlando.
Yeah, like downtown center.
Well, downtown Orlando has a lot of restaurants that are like.
But I mean, if you took that like in a food truck sense, almost.
Food truck sense.
You know, or like you'd have to go like it would work in Cali, but it would have to be like downtown. You know, or in the city
like,
life.
Going down to like Tampa.
Yeah. They have to be like city life.
Yeah,
you know,
like I feel like they would do better. Yeah, you're right. Food trucks are definitely going to do better in larger cities, not like...
No, not these
small cities.
Small local ones.
So like Orlando, Tampa, obviously of the central Florida.
We'd have to go to suburbia.
Suburbia.
You know, for them to work. So. But that was the last question. And it's 8:34. So we have got to go. We got a lot of awesome things coming up. I'm going to be shooting plenty of videos coming up.
Plenty.
We're staying at a Universal Resort on Friday. Saturday we're at the Polynesian. We have, so I have 2 resort tours coming out. We have 2 dining reviews that are coming out.
But that's not this week. Oh yeah,
that is this week.
The Polynesian. Yeah. Well, one of them.
And then, you know, some more things are coming out.
Some more things.
You know, like... Yeah,
other stuff.
Other stuff that's going on. You know, one of them is a park one. So 2 resorts, 2 dining, 1 park. But everybody shows park of what's going on during the day, what crowds. I want to see what it looks like when these reduced hours, what parks look like closing them.
Weather permitting.
Weather permitted. How are crowds, wait times, you know, let's say 2 hours before the parks close. Yeah. Is it good to go maybe at night? I don't know.
Well,
we'll check it out.
Night, more like late afternoon.
Late afternoon because there's no such thing as night anymore right now. But that's it, guys. We will see you next time. Have a good night.
Have a good night. Good night. Sweet dreams.
Vlog finito.